Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to all, and a happy new year. I hope your Christmas was joyful and triumphant. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Don't know how many people are going to be here today because it's, well, here in Thailand, it is the day before New Year's. The morning before New Year's. So it's in the United States right now, it is nighttime 2 days before New Year's. A lot of people are out, they're moving around, they're going places, even here in Thailand. So who knows how many people are going to be here. But we'll see. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's all good. Today we're diving into two essential topics that are guaranteed to keep you informed and engaged. First, we cover the must-know updates for expats in Thailand 2024, from changes in visas and property laws to banking and healthcare. Then we will shift gears and explore the the news stories, top news stories from Thailand in 2024. Some politics, some safety, economics, weed, things that have shaped the country this year. So, we have a lot to talk about. Right now, the exchange rate is 34.20. $1 is 34.20. The air quality index, 117 where I am. The temperature, 74 degrees, very nice. High of 90, which is a bit hot. Low of 69, and the feel-like temperature is 79. Humidity is 65%, so it's quite nice right now. It's very nice in the morning when I get out. I jump on the back of a motorcycle, and it's cool. It's not warm, it's not hot, it's just you're nice and cool, and that's how it was when I came this morning. But before we get started, don't forget to leave a thumbs up on the stream, subscribe to the channel, and of course, click the notification bell so you never miss future updates. And if you'd like to support the channel, you can do so with Super Chat, Super Thanks, Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can join me on Patreon. Your support means the world to me. Today is the last day of the year, and my goal today is to get a whopping 5 Super Chats at about $2 a pop, 100 baht, so it's maybe $2.50. That's my goal. All right, if you're interested in merchandise, you can find the store below the video window, and also visit my website for more content and check out my books while you're there. If you need any help with anything, send me an email at anamericaninbangkok@gmail.com, and I can help you. I'm not one of these guys who's been here for a year or two and they've been doing one thing. I've been all around here. I know a fair amount about a lot of things here, so maybe I can help you. That's the goal. So remember that. And it's only, it's only in your best interest if you're going to come over here and you're going to spend $5,000 or $3,000, whatever it might be. You're going to spend that, and maybe you're considering living here and you need some help. Well, I mean, $50, $100 is probably nothing in the context of things. So remember that. Now, before I get into this, I'm going to give you guys my 6, I don't like to call them resolutions. I like to call them my goals. Hello, Dale. Hello, everybody who is here. We got a whopping 10 people right now. So hopefully we'll get a few more, but that's all right. Whatever it is, it is. Either way, my heels are clicking. I like to call them goals, not resolutions. I feel like I'm doing something wrong if I don't reach my resolutions. If I don't accomplish them, I feel like, oh, I didn't do good. With my goals, I feel like I have something that has to be accomplished, and that it can be step by step, it can be whatever it is. But that's how I kind of changed the perspective on it. So number one is we are getting some land down in the south, the land next to our house, probably tomorrow or the next day. And my goal, along with my wife's, is for us to plant some durian trees, maybe 25 trees, so that that land, in addition to making some money from the fruit and veg that we grow, we'll be selling durian, which if we plant really good durian trees, you can make a fair amount of money. I mean, you know, you have to work the land, but we can pay somebody to do that, and we can do pretty good. So the durian is, for me, is the best way to go. You can make the most amount of money from durian. That's why we're not going with anything else. And we already have some durian trees on the property, but we have a lot of other things. You know, we have, papaya, mango, and kratom. We have, I can't even think of everything. We have peppers, we have cucumbers. There's all kinds of things on that land. That land is very productive. So, the other thing is that I want to go to one country that I have not been to before, so that I can check out what it might be like to live there. And I've been to Portugal, and I have a fair idea what it's like. I was thinking of Sardinia or something like that. I don't know why. I'm just kicking things around, but I want to go to one place, preferably in Europe. I've been to Ecuador, I've been to Portugal, been to Ireland. I know what those places are and what the positives and negatives of being there are, and I'm thinking about it as a part-time location. So that's something that I want to get into. Number 3 is get back in the gym and work out at least every other day, because I have not been going to the gym like I used to, say 2 months ago, when I was going, pretty much 5 days, 6 days a week. Now I feel like I've lost a little bit, so I got to get back in there again. Number 4, I want to start uploading at least one video per week, and hopefully that will help me to get to 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. You guys are a part of that. I'd appreciate any help. You can share the video. You can do whatever you want. Number 5, make more coffee at home and cut back on the coffee shops to reduce the amount that I spend on coffee, because I probably spend, I don't really get much food at any coffee shop, because most of the stuff they sell is shit. I'm looking over here now, they got all kinds of cakes in the top row. The next row has croissants that are filled. They've got all kinds of stuff, muffins. The third row has pretty much the same thing. There's no really healthy food. So trying to remember my health, because that's important. And number 6, the last thing, I want to save 400,000 to 500,000 baht this year, which is up a couple hundred from what the usual is. And hopefully I'll reach that goal. That one I really want to reach. I want to get all these accomplished. I know we'll get the durian planted. I have a pretty good idea that I will go to another place. The gym I can do. The uploading, we'll see how that works out, but I want it to work out. The savings, hopefully I'll stay on track and get that accomplished. And the staying at home making coffee, it may not sound all that difficult, even though I got a bunch of coffee at home, but it's not the same when you're sitting at home. So maybe I need to, notice I don't have buy a house on that list. The place where we were going to buy the house offered us 300,000 baht more in gold and 300,000 more baht for furniture or whatever we want to spend it on. And I'm like, no, that's not what I want. Reduce the price 400,000 baht. Then maybe that would be better. But they have all these little things in place where they want to give you gold. The thing is with the gold is that you got to go to their gold shop. It's only one gold shop. And I'm not sure about that. So I'm like, I told the wife, we're better off. Put the money down south. Save the money. I don't know. I'm just the kind of person I think cash in hand is better than just about anything else, especially here in Thailand where people don't really want to buy a house if it's an old house or older house. A lot of people don't want to buy. They don't want to buy an old car. That's why the secondhand market for cars here is not as good as it could be. Because a lot of Thais don't want to buy something secondhand. Now, some of them, they believe with houses, they believe in ghosts. So, you know, you got to live within your means here. Yeah, spirits within the old homes. You know, I mean, some things are going on now. My wife is like, oh, you see, it could be something happened and something did this and that and the spirits. And I'm like, oh, God. And she's like, I know you don't believe in it, but... And I'm like, it's all right, I understand. You know, it's just the way that things go. So, anyway, let's see here. Let's dive in and explore everything that you need to know about keeping up with Thailand here, whether you're living here, whether you plan to move here, or you're just curious about what's happening here in the land of smiles. Hopefully we have something for you. So, like me, grab a coffee. The tea. Grab a coffee, settle in, and let's unpack what has been a rather eventful year. So what I'm going to do is the changes on 12 topics, one for each month, for expats in Thailand in 2024. So, some of them are simple, some of them are not so simple, but let's get into it here. Thailand has updated its long-term resident visa LTR to include more incentives for remote workers and entrepreneurs. You have to have a minimum annual income of $80,000 a year or a proven $1 million investment in Thailand. Now, I don't know. If I had $1 million, I don't know that I'd want to just invest it here in Thailand. It doesn't make sense to me. But, you know, I guess if you've got multi-millions, that's a different story. You get, with this LTR visa now, you get a 10-year visa with a work permit, reduced tax rates, and simplified 90-day reporting. Yeah, that doesn't motivate me too much. You can do an online application through the Thailand Board of Investment portal, followed by document verification at a Thai consulate or immigration office. I'm not too excited about this. All right, now, electricity bills have risen 15% to 20% due to higher fuel imports. Let me see here. $1 million. It says $1 million. So it does say, and figure this out, minimum annual income of 80,000. Oh wow! I just got a message from Carlos. Well, Carlos, if you're watching, I hope you'll pull through and do all right there. Of course, and now is not a great time, of course, because it's the holidays, but I hope you're okay. Minimum annual income of $80,000 or a proven $1 million investment. So if you figure out 12 times 80, that's almost $1 million. So that's what they're looking for. okay? But it is minimum annual income of $80,000 or $1 million. So if you don't have $1 million, you know, and you got 80,000, you got 100,000 coming in every month, that's fine. But the electricity bills have risen by 15 to 20% due to higher fuel import costs and increased demands. And I'll tell you what, we had some old air conditioners before, and my bill was 7,500 baht, 7,000 baht every single month. We bought new air conditioners, I don't know how long ago, a year ago or something like that, 6 months, 8. I think we bought one a year ago and another one 6 months ago. Hey Carlos, how you doing? How's things? You're just, when are you supposed to come back? I will say it's been strange being, you know, I haven't streamed in a week. It's kind of been strange. I've been just doing whatever I wanted. I'm like, I don't have to go and stream. It's been strange. Let me help you make the $1 million. Well, thank you very much, Dale. Thank you. And I have reached one of the 500 baht contributions that I need to reach my goal today. I'm trying to get 5. So that's what, 500 baht? And YouTube takes 30%, about 30%. Sometimes they take more. But we'll say 30%, which means I get 350 baht, which is 10 bucks. End of February. Wow, that's a long time. So you're going to be there for 2 months. And just like recuperating or what? Please click on Dale's, there we go. Thank you. Well, that didn't come through. Oh, yes it did. All right, good deal. Thank you, Gilles. Thank you very much. Awesome. Choke D to both of you. Yeah, I'm a little concerned for Carlos. Taking care of all. Oh, okay. All right. I understand that. Yeah, that's going to be a process, man. You know that. I mean, if you're looking at it from the outside, like I am right now, it's a process. You're going to have to go through that whole grieving process and try to get through it. And, you know, like I told you, I'm trying to prepare myself because my parents are in their 80s, and I just wonder, you know, what one day I might get a phone call and that's it. Everything's different because I'm really close to my parents. I'm especially close to my mother, you know, and I try to keep in contact with her all the time. But you know, it could be anything. My friend always tells me, "Yeah, you gotta go. Every year now, you have to go and see them." And I believe that. Where before I might not come for 3 years, you know. Now I'm like, eh. And you know, you could go there, and while you're there, something could happen. While you're coming back, something could happen. Anytime. That's the thing. And that's something that it kind of scares me, just for me, because I don't know. One day I could just be walking down the street, I keel over. That's it. I'm gone. And you know, I heard Jordan Peterson say something. And I don't really like him all that much. I mean, yeah, I think he's a smart guy and all that other kind of stuff. But I just think he's a bit long-winded. But he said something about when people die. He said, you know, you're 1 minute you're here, and then the next minute you're gone. And for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, people are sad and they cry, and you know, it's really hard. And they may never get through it, but the only thing that life goes on. Getting a last minute flight is a pain in the... Listen, I've been looking at flights, man, and I know they're expensive. And I mean, I've been looking at like, go to Europe, stop at Europe, go to New York, stop in New York, then go to Florida. And man, it's like $2,000, $1,500 at least. I'm trying to use my miles. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but actually I got something coming up where I might have to, I don't know how much that's going to give me. But you know, you get through it as best as you can. But the thing is that life, it just keeps going on. You know, and you know, what else are you supposed to do? You know, and I talked about, getting off the subject here, but I talked about my grandfather was shot down over Burma in 1943. That's my mother's father. And I was like, oh wow. She's like, well, he walked into Thailand somehow, and he had to be hospitalized for a couple of months. And that's where he met my grandmother. And I'm like, well, I need to find this out. And so I've been working on it. It's just, you know, it's giving me something to do. But now I'm like, okay, I really want to know what's going on, you know, and I want to see. And the thing is that he's my grandfather. I saw him a couple of times, and now I'm like, you know, he's been gone for, God, I don't even know how long, 40 years or something like that. And that's what happens. Time goes by, and you're just another one of the family that passed on, and maybe people remember you, maybe people don't, you know, so it's rough. There's no way around it. Anyway, about the electricity. Let's get back to what I'm talking about. About the electricity. Now we have new air conditioners, and the price of my electricity has gone down. It has not gone up. So maybe it would be even lower if these increases had not been implemented. Expats in urban areas like Bangkok and Pattaya report higher monthly costs, especially for air conditioning. Savings tips: use energy efficient appliances, consider solar panel installations. If I own the house, I would put the solar panel in, and take advantage of time-based tariffs where applicable. I don't know about that. And when you have 4 people living in a house, it's rather difficult. It's rather difficult to keep a handle on everything because, man, I go upstairs and I'm like, the bathroom light's on, Nicholas's light's on. I'm like, wait a minute, you guys got to turn the lights off. What are you doing? You know, then I go downstairs and like maybe the freezer, one of the door in the freezer, somebody put meat in, and the meat, you know, is pushing the door open, and it's a little bit open. I'm like, what the? And all that stuff contributes to having a higher electric bill. Plus, we have two refrigerators. We got, I don't know how many computers now, and phones. Probably have 5 or 6 phones, and maybe 4 or 5 computers. I think we have five computers. So anyway, so electricity, you got to keep a handle on it. You got to really watch it to see if it's going up or not, because 15 to 20% is a lot. Hey Bruce, Happy New Year. Sawadi Pimai. Yes, Sawadi Pimai. This morning I got off the motorcycle. I wanted to tell the guy Happy New Year, and I forgot how to say it. I'm like, you know, I mean, like Christmas was not really Christmas. It wasn't really even Christmas. I went out on Sunday night, which was that after? Yeah, that was after Christmas. I went out on Sunday night with a wife and a bunch of other people, and the next thing you know, we're smashed. We're drinking tequila. We're drinking beers. We drank something I've never had before, which is just whiskey highballs. And yeah, the next thing I know, I'm like staggering to the taxi. I have them too, but they aren't as reliable as touted to be. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, Carlos, just take care, and you know, try to get through it as best you can. I don't know what else to say, you know. If it was me, I don't know that you know, there's really nothing that can be said that, you know. Yeah. Take care of yourself. Just remember to, you know, she would want you to be happy, and, you know, she wouldn't want you to get all down about it. Okay, number 3. Thailand's new wealth threshold for elite visa holders. There are now higher financial thresholds. An entry package for a 5-year visa has been increased from 500 to 600,000. Supposedly, the Thais are aiming at attracting high net worth individuals to support economic recovery. The only alternatives really are a retirement visa or LTR visa. Maybe it would be more cost effective. Number 4, and this is a good thing, expansion of the high-speed rail network. Bangkok to Nakhon Ratchasima line, part of the Thai-Chinese high-speed rail project, is nearing completion. It cuts the time between Bangkok and Korat to 90 minutes. That's pretty good. That's one thing that Thailand has really done. Well, we're not talking about LED. It doesn't matter. We're talking about electricity. Overall, what matters is how much is your bill. That's the bottom line. I mean, LED lights can save money for people, and I suspect they do. But if you have a ton of things that are using electricity, you're screwed. You got to pay. That's the bottom line. You have to pay. And if they're raising the rates, you know, I don't like it. They never lower the rates. Maybe they do. Oh, for 2 months we're going to lower the rates. I think they did that a while back. But no one is going to want a 20% increase. I think it's 4 baht per kilowatt hour, something like that. It might be 5, I don't know. But we pay right to the electric company. We don't pay to. That's the thing about apartments. When you go into the apartment, I'm going to tell you, this is a very easy tip. When you go in to an apartment, make sure you are paying directly to the electric company, not to the apartment. That goes for the phone, for water, for electricity. You don't want to pay the apartment because they're making money off the top from you. So if that's the case, don't go there. Listen, I used to have a phone in an apartment I had when I first came here, and every call that you made was 5 baht plus like 5 baht a minute. And I was like, that's ridiculous. But that's what they charged. And I eventually left that place because I was like, Jesus Christ. Once I figured it out, I was like, man, that's bullshit, you know? So, anyway. Well, 4 baht is what? 4 baht is about a ninth, let's say an eighth. So that's about 12 and a half, that is 12 and a half cents. They come out every month, they come out, they check the meter, and they write it down, give you the bill right then. So you can check if you really want to, you can go outside, you'll know exactly how much your bill is going to be. And I never do that, but, you know. That's the thing. Listen, eventually what's going to happen is, unless you're living, some places that are real shitholes, I'm not going to name any countries, but I'm talking about truly third world, fourth world countries. They charge more for stuff because it takes them more energy and it takes more resources to get the same thing accomplished. That's definitely not where you want to be. Now, I said to my kid yesterday, I go, where was it? God damn it, I can't remember. I think it was Ghana or Sierra Leone or something. I said, oh, I'd like to go there. And he goes, what do you want to go there for? He's like, in that place they got like a war going on. What do you want to go there for? And I go, what do you mean? You don't want to go? You don't want to go there? Now, I really, when it comes down to it, I don't really want to go there anymore, just because, you know, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. Who pays for electricity on walking streets and markets? Well, the government pays for some services, and then the owners of the shops pay for their own electricity. You want to make sure your landlord is you want to make sure they're not tapping into your services. That's about 1,000 riel. You know, after a while, I start getting sick of drinking the same thing. So sometimes I'm drinking espresso. Most of the time I used to drink espresso. Then I was like, all right, give me a dirty. Then I was like, espresso panna cotta. Then I was like, cappuccino. You know, I get sick of that stuff. But, you know, the thing is that energy is something that people are going to pay. Energy, water. Think about it. You got to pay for this stuff. Drinking water is going to be at a premium in another, say, 10, 20 years. There's a lot of countries right now where, you know, people, they got to, I mean, think about it. In Africa, South America, there's a lot of places people don't have water. They got to go down to a stream and get a bucket. And that's their water for the day, you know. There is a planned extension from Nong Khai to link with Laos to go to China. Yeah, I don't know about that one, but it's giving a boost to property markets in nearby provinces. For me, that's great. All that's great. I just say they need to upgrade their buses and their trains. Not trains like this. I'm not like MRT, BTS, that kind of stuff. I'm talking about they need to upgrade all their trains, or a lot of their trains. They're just, and what that means is the price will go up for train trips, which kind of sucks. I mean, now you can still go to Kanchanaburi for like 100 baht, 105 baht, something like that. It's dirt cheap. All right, number 5, revised work permit regulations for foreigners. The Thai government has simplified work permit requirements for skilled professionals and business owners. Easier permits for BOI approved companies and digital entrepreneurs. And in some conditions, people are allowed for certain remote work if income is sourced entirely from abroad. You don't need a work permit. They have changed that. Businesses must register foreign employees' details electronically. So there is some compliance in there. Number 6, healthcare costs are increasing, or have been increasing, in private hospitals. Private hospitals in Thailand have raised consultation and treatment fees by 10 to 15% due to inflation. Doesn't sound right to me. I don't know how countries like France do it, where they have good health care. But here in Thailand, it should be something similar. And I mean, they don't have terrible health care. That's not what I'm saying. But when you go to a private hospital and you're dealing with a private doctor, generally you are paying more than you're ever going to pay in Thailand at a public hospital. You're not paying as much as in the United States or something, but it used to be like it was a tenth of the cost of what it was in America. Now it's more like a fifth or a quarter or even a third of what it cost in the United States. So, you know, I had my hip done, it was 10 grand, but I looked around. I could have paid 15, 20 grand. Now, it's more expensive in the United States. But of course, they think you're going to have insurance, and the insurance is going to pay, and all this other stuff. It's something to think about. Also, there are transparency laws where hospitals must list prices for common procedures on their websites. I don't really see them doing that all that often. I go to websites quite often, hospital websites, checking from, like the other day, I checked from Lat Pral, Ramkhamhaeng, and Waitani. I checked all their prices on a procedure, and I was like, they don't have any of the prices here, so you have to write to them. When you write to them, they know, if you're not writing in Thai, they know, oh, this guy's not Thai. You know. I mean, yeah, you never really know until you get out of there, because, like, you know, my kid's got to go in and have some surgery done later this month. And it's 10 grand. US. It ain't cheap. Now, I don't know what it would cost in the United States, but it would be expensive. Much more expensive. But still, they say 10 grand. By the time he gets out of it, it'll be like, oh, it's 10,780. And it's like, wait a minute, you said 10 grand, you didn't say 10,780. Oh, well, there was this and that, we didn't include that, and it's just like, whatever. All I could say, hospitals and insurance, I don't like them. You know, I mean, I know maybe, for me, I like to be alone. I like to go out with my friends once in a while. Not all the time. I like to go out once in a while, have a little fun. You know. I like to hang out with the family. And listen, I go out with the family, and we don't go out all that often. Not because of money or anything like that, but it's because we don't want to go out. We could stay at home, have a nice meal, like we did yesterday. We stayed at home. I bought a big piece of salmon. We cooked it up. We had salmon and crab cakes and some salad. And then, you know, we sit there and watch a movie. And that's, for me, that's fine. I don't mind, you know. But I am getting older. And, you know, in saying that, I have to say, I looked up the, you know, what was the average age on YouTube of people live streaming and making videos. The oldest person on YouTube, I think, is 108, and she's still active. Now, she's going to pass away at some point, right? But after that, like number 10 was 73 years old. Well, I'm almost 63. I'm like, son of a bitch. And something else I heard was that the average person, their YouTube channel has a lifespan of 7 years. They can do things, and then people get tired, and they move on. And I've said that for a long time. I mean, listen, Jono doesn't watch all that often. I understand it. I mean, you know, he lives here now. Same with Billy, but Billy is here, but he's going to go back to America. Maybe he'll watch more then, I don't know. There's a lot of people over the time. I've had some great people on, and they move on. This is what people do, and I understand that. But I'm like, holy shit! Now it's been almost 12 years that I've been streaming, and the only reason is because I've kind of changed things up a little bit, and even then, I still don't keep all the people. you know. But I think it's important that I do the videos, put the videos up regularly, because that helps with your numbers. So, anyway, 300 baht for sterilization fee at the dentist when you put the crown. Well, that's not much. They always charge for that. Always charge the sterilization fee. It's the same, they always do that shit. All right, let me see this here. I gotta get back to this. Public hospitals like Chulalongkorn and Sirirach offer affordable care but involve longer waiting times. I also know about, where the hell? Rangsit. Out in Rangsit, there's what hospital is it? I forget. My kid was going there. I forget the name of it, but anyway, they do offer good prices. I mean, they are reasonable. They're what private hospitals used to be. I'm telling you, I stayed in a private hospital for 4 days and 3 nights with a respiratory infection. They were giving me oxygen like 24/7. I had a private room, and the bill was 15,000 baht. I stayed in the hospital for 2 weeks, and I was in ICU for like 4 days. In a coma for 4 days. And it was 150,000 baht. That's for 2 weeks. To me, that was very reasonable. Now, I don't think they're all that reasonable, but I think they're more reasonable. Listen, in the United States, I think it's a scam. You know, and yeah, okay, maybe you have better doctors in some places, but I think on the whole, it's just about making that money. That's what they care about. All right, real estate taxation changes. Property tax laws have been updated for foreigners. Leasehold land renewals are now capped at 30 years instead of allowing multiple renewals. That's big. Condo ownership remains at 49% ownership cap, but taxation on rental income has increased. Number 8, upcoming air pollution season. Thailand's PM2.5 problem will peak in January to March. That's upcoming. Affected areas include Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and the industrial zones, and they will be hardest hit. Stricter enforcement of emission standards for factory and diesel vehicles, and people should invest in air purifiers and wear certified masks N95 or better, because the air is that bad. Number 9, banking challenges for expats. Expats without long-term visas face stricter banking requirements. I don't know how much to believe this, because every bank you go to seems to be different. New rules, proof of residency and valid work permits are mandatory. Tourists, rarely allowed. Consider legal services for assistance. Account maintenance, keep transactions active to avoid dormant account fees. Yeah, that's always something. I think they give you a year. If you don't have any transactions in your bank for a year, they'll close your account. So you have to think about that. Well, these air purifiers are a little bit expensive. They add up after a while. They're not that expensive per thing, but I'm talking about the masks. The air purifiers can be costly. I used to have one. 9:44, thank you. That's how I know what time it is. And it worked pretty good for a while. Then it just crapped out. Thank you, Cyrus. Happy New Year to you too, and to everybody involved with you. Thank you. Happy New Year. Sawadi Pimai. But I mean, you know, it can be cheap for an air purifier. I mean, you know, 30 bucks, something like that. Or it can be a couple thousand baht. You know, I mean, 30 bucks is about 1,000 baht. I was saying a couple thousand baht. 2,000-3,000 baht is about the price for what I would consider to be a really good one. even 1,000 baht. But you know, it's going to cost you, and then you know, how long are they going to last, and how much good are they going to do? So you have to think about that, and that's something, it really bothers me about being here is, and I hate to say this because Thailand has so many positive things, but the air pollution is absolute shit. 117 is not good. 25 and under is good. Over 100 is dog shit. And it's constantly over 100, 150 here in Bangkok. And that's why I'd like to go somewhere. I mean, you know, I hate to say it, I would like to go to like a coastal town or an island or something like that where the wife and I could go and we could just relax and we have a nice life. And you know, and the thing is that if you're not keeping busy, you're going to be bored. You always have to keep busy. So some places that you go, it may be tough to stay really busy unless, you know, you're somebody who you want to cook a lot, you want to read books, you want to stay inside. You know, you don't want to go out much. When you go out, you know, oh, I've got these, you know, there's these 10 places I can choose from. So, yeah, you got to take up fishing, you know. Okay, I'm going to go rock climbing. I mean, come on. Am I going to go rock climbing? No. I did zip lining. Now's the last time I'll ever do that. I'll never do zip lining again. You know. So, you know, when you get older, you have to adjust, and there are things that you just can't do. You know, you can't do that. You know, when I was in my 20s, I used to go to the what do you call it? The stadium. I used to go run the stairs. I used to go run wind sprints, you know, 20-yard wind sprints, 40-yard wind sprints. I used to go do that stuff. Now I can't run. I can't really run. I mean, I could jog for a little ways, but I can't do it on a regular basis. And I don't like golf. Jono likes golf. Let Jono play the golf. He can do his own thing. That's all right. Anyway, let's get back to it here. I get a little carried away sometimes. Rise of Hua Hin as a retirement hub. And it's funny that they say that. Because when I went there, it's been 3 years now. And I went there with Billy and Patia Bob. Shout out to Patia Bob. Shout out to Mr. Tokyo Sam. Thank you very much. Hua Hin is attracting retirees with its laid-back vibe and expanding infrastructure. Thank you, Sammy. A new international hospital with Western standard care has opened. There are golf courses, clean beaches, and a growing expat community that make it a top choice. Now, I don't make Hua Hin a top choice. Not for me. You know why? Because I know about Thailand. If you saw Hua Hin back in the day, then it was the choice. Now, I don't think it's a choice because 3 years ago when I went, I was astounded. I was like, son of a bitch, there's a lot of traffic here. Getting around is a little bit of a pain in the ass, and the air wasn't great. And I was like, there's traffic, there's pollution, there's ground pollution, and there's air pollution. I'm like, no, I'd rather stay in Prachuap. And even now, Prachuap is a pretty busy city. I don't know about the other parts of the province, but it's fairly busy. So I don't know that I would pick Prachuap, and that's the thing. I heard somebody say something. If you want to go somewhere in the world, for the most part, somebody's already been there. They've already been there, done that. So, you know, you want to, yeah, I don't know about that, but you want to go somewhere where there's not many people and, oh my God, it's so wonderful here. You're going to have a hard time finding a place that you're like one of only 20 people. I saw a show yesterday I think it was called the Edge of Alaska, and there's only like 32 people living in the town, and the town is very spread out. You know, they all have snowmobiles, and you know, they've got money somehow, or they piece together, you know, their property and things like that, and they somehow make it. But those kind of places are few and far between, especially in Thailand. And you know, now, Thailand, everybody and their mother's been here. It's overdone. You know, and I'm living here. Basically now, I have not moved because of my family. They have not moved because, you know, my wife has a job. The kids, they're set in school and their jobs, looking for jobs, whatever. This is the place to be. So, you know, I mean, you do what you can at the time, but I can tell you, like, do I see us moving to Suratani in, say, 5 years? No, I don't really. My wife just doesn't want to live there. She wants to fix everything up and have a nice place there, so if we want to go there once in a great while, we can go. Now, she's the one who's going to go and get this land, but, you know, if we were to move, we'd have to be down in the south close to the house just to keep an eye on it. And then if we left, it would be like, you know, there's nobody there except for sisters, and maybe we have our kids look in. I don't know. So that's why maybe we only would go stay in a place part-time for 3 months. I don't know. I really don't know. But I know I won't be staying in Hua Hin. All right, you need to have mandatory digital ID for public services. Thailand is rolling out a national digital ID system, or has rolled out, I'm not sure yet. Visa, well, they don't have that for us. Visa renewals, 90-day reporting, and banking will require a digital ID. They have not done that yet, so I don't know how this is going. Supposedly you can register through government apps or in person at immigration. I'm not going to immigration if I don't have to. No way. That's one thing I don't like doing. I don't like going to immigration. You only go to immigration if you have to. Well, that's why I don't think they've done it yet. And I don't know if they will, but that is something they're considering. And, you know, this is the thing. It's always news. They always consider it. Oh, yes, we're the proposal. Well, proposal doesn't mean it's being done, right? You know. Number 12, last but not least, crackdowns on overstays and visa runs. And let me tell you something. I was the guy, if you remember, when they first changed the law on overstays to what it is now, which I don't even remember what it is, but I had it on a piece of paper. You know, it was a list of how long you're gonna be banned for this much time. Immigration called me and said, we want you to make a video. And I made a video about it. It's somewhere in my videos. You know, you could probably look up overstay or immigration in my videos and be able to find it. But they're the ones who asked me, and I did it, and I was like, you know, man, you don't want to overstay. That's something you just don't want to do it. So if you think there's any chance of you overstaying, I mean, you know, you got to give yourself a week leeway. A week in advance, if you think it's going to happen, you're going to overstay. You better prepare and go in and tell them. Instead of overstaying so that you're caught, you say, listen, I need this many more days, and maybe they'll work with you. Overstays of 1 day incur a 500 baht fine per day, up to a maximum of 20,000. Overstays exceeding 90 days can lead to a 1-year re-entry ban. Limited visa runs. Border run options are fewer with scrutiny at immigration checkpoints, and this has been going on for a long time, but it's finally coming to a head where they are telling people, you need to leave and go for a while. I would not be surprised if at some point they said, You're only allowed on tourist visas 6 months out of the year, and then you can't come back. Although I think because they want to reach like 50 million tourists, maybe they won't do that, because they're smart enough to know, hey, if we try to stop tourists from continuing to come back, then our numbers go down. And that's all they're concerned about, is, can we say this? And I just saw some news article that said they surpassed their goal for 2024. I don't know what it is, but let me see here if I can figure it out. Let me see. Wait a minute. Yes, China surpasses 2024 target goals. China has surpassed its target goal of 35 million visitors in 2024, a few days ahead of the year's end, establishing a landmark achievement that highlights the country's strong tourism rebound and setting the foundation for an even greater year ahead. Supposedly they made $53 billion. Now, if they started being a little more friendly about the requirements to enter Thailand to a lot of other places, I think they would surpass their goal. Now, next year, I honestly think they're gonna hit 45 million, maybe 50, but I think 45 is about right. I think they're gonna reach that. All right, let me see this here. I still need 3 more people, 100 baht, for me to reach my goal. I want to reach it at the end of this year. That's one thing I want to do. I have never reached that goal, ever. I've made more money than I would if I reached the goal, but I have not reached the goal. And usually that is when I don't have something up about the goal. I put it up today because today is the last day of the year. It's only 100 baht. What is that, $3? $2.80, something like that. I'm not asking the world. And I don't usually do this, but I would like to reach that goal today. And I got about a half an hour to 45 minutes left in the stream. Alrighty, let's talk news. Now, in recent news, just this is 2 days ago, there was a fire at a Bangkok hotel, the Ember Hotel near Khao San Road, and it resulted in the death of 3 foreign tourists and injuries to several others. This was on December 29th, and it's still under investigation, but 3 people died. Now, I don't know how that happened, but that's a damn shame. So that's number 1. Let's see here. Number 2, Thailand to implement global minimum corporate tax rate. And I just saw this not long ago. They're going to implement a 15% global minimum corporate tax on multinational enterprises starting January 1st, 2025, aligning with international efforts to curb tax competition. I don't know what that means. Now, in January of 2024, there was a pilot project for 30 baht treatment everywhere. Thailand launched this pilot project in 4 provinces, Phrae, Roi Et, Phetchaburi, and Narathiwat, allowing citizens to receive medical treatment for 30 baht at any healthcare facility. How's that going to work? I would love it if they just said, yes, everywhere you go, it's 30 baht, 30 baht, 30 baht. I just don't know how they're going to pay for it. You know, I really don't know about that. So, all right. Now, in other news, number what? Number 3? No, number 4 already. Wow. Blasted through these. The Constitutional Court has dissolved the Move Forward Party on August 7th. The Constitutional Court ordered the dissolution of the progressive Move Forward Party for violating lèse-majesté provisions. Party leaders, including Pita Lim Jaranrat and Chaitawat Tulathon, were banned from public political office for 10 years. So, you may not think that's big, but I think people who know politics know that is pretty big. Okay? That's something that is important. Formation of the People's Party. Following the dissolution of the Move Forward Party, former members of the party regrouped under the new People's Party, continuing their political activities in Parliament. You know, this is the thing. The problem with Thailand, as I see it, is politics. I mean, isn't that what the problem is with most countries? The political landscape, the people in power, the people who want to be in power. It just seems to me that it's it's a cluster, it's a mess. All right. Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin dismissed. On August 14th, Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin was dismissed by the Constitutional Court for appointing Pichit Chunban to his cabinet despite Chunban's prior criminal conviction. Okay, so you get rid of your leader because he appointed somebody that had a criminal record. Then, Paetongtarn Shinawatra became the prime minister on August 6th. God damn it, I don't know why I keep saying August instead of October. I don't know what I was saying. I'm speaking too quickly. On August 16th, Paetongtarn Shinawatra became Thailand's youngest prime minister, the second woman, and the third member of the Shinawatra family to hold the position. So, Thaksin, Yingluck, and Paetongtarn have been prime minister of Thailand. Now, speaking of Thaksin Shinawatra received a royal pardon. The former prime minister was granted a royal pardon by King Vajiralongkorn on August 17th. Funny, that's a day after Paetongtarn became prime minister. He was granted that pardon on August 17th, coinciding with the king's birthday. Okay, now, and I bet you money that if I went to the Bangkok Post, the Nation, Household English, any of these, that I would find Thaksin's name. No, I'm not. I would find his name in a news article. They are talking about him. He's always being talked about. And to me, Paetongtarn is the prime minister. I don't know that she is truly in control. I don't know. Who knows? Just like we don't know about Biden, well, I don't think we know about her. And maybe that's a bit strong to say that. I don't know. But that's what I think. Jet ski accident in Phuket leads to tourist death. An Austrian tourist was charged with negligence causing the death after a jet ski collision at Karn Beach resulted in the death of a Russian swimmer. The incident was captured on video and occurred on December 24th. I didn't hear about this. I did not hear about that. But that's the thing. You got to be careful. Hell, it's becoming known Elon Musk really got elected here. He seems to be pulling the strings. Oh, come on. I don't think he's pulling the strings. I think he has a lot to say. I think Donald Trump puts a lot of faith in him, but I don't think he's the guy calling the shots. I think the big boss is the big boss. And he's not the big boss. He's very close to being the big boss, but he's not. Who knows? One day he may get elected president. I said it here. So you heard me. I don't want to keep up with these politics. Robert, I don't live in America. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. But what I will say is, I don't live in America. This year will be my 31st coming. Will be my 31st year in Thailand. My 32nd year, I've been here half my life. I don't really worry too much about American politics, although, you know, I follow it a little bit just to see what's going on, but I just don't worry about it. All these people are telling me about all this shit going on. I don't care. I don't really care. You know, I mean, I hate to be negative about it, but I just don't care. I don't live there. You know, unless it affects a mass of people or my friends and family or, you know, traumatized by whatever happens, that's a different story. But they're not. They're doing fine. You know, and I think the media has a lot to do with the shit that goes on. I think they have a lot to do with what's being presented to the people. You could go somewhere and live somewhere, you wouldn't hear any of this shit going on. Oh, Happy New Year, Todd. I didn't see that, but thank you. So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I don't really care about that. I don't care about what's going on there. I'll be honest. I've been looking at a couple of places where I could just, what was that one place I was looking at where I thought, oh, maybe I can go, maybe it was Panama or, I don't think it was Costa Rica. I forget where it is, but I thought, oh, all I have to do is show my Social Security and boom, I'm in there. Now, if I gotta stay there, I don't want to stay there and my wife can't stay with me. So that kind of puts a damper on things, but I don't know, maybe I haven't really looked into it. Maybe I don't have to stay there. Maybe I only have to stay there for a month or two. And they'll give me temporary residence or whatever, and then, you know, if I'm there for a long time, or if I show that I am going there, they will give me permanent residence. I don't know, I need to look into it. I can't even remember where it is, to be honest. Maybe it's Panama, I don't know. But that's just because I want another place where I can go, listen, if anything ever happened in Thailand, I'm not going back to the United States. There's no way. I just don't want to. Why? I've been gone for many, many years. I don't want to go back to what is now. I don't want to go back to a burger that's $7 or $8 when I used to pay $2 for it. You know, I don't want to, I mean, you used to get a haircut for $8, $10. I don't know how much it is now. Considerably more, I would say. Maybe you're lucky you can get something. I don't know, how much is Supercuts now? Oh, Supercut. Oh, well, that's in the UK. Oh my God. Men's haircut, a men's haircut at Supercut costs $25, between $25 and $50. A general rule of thumb is to tip the hairdresser 20% if you're satisfied with the service. So in other words, if I go in there, they're gonna look at this and they're gonna go, okay, 25 bucks, now I gotta give them 30 bucks. I was talking to another foreigner, since we're talking about haircuts. That's why I don't want to go back. Why would I go back when I know many other places are open to me? You know, I mean, even my wife can go to Ecuador without a visa. She doesn't need a visa to go there. I'm like, holy shit. That's fantastic. I don't need a visa for her. I don't need to worry about it. The only place we had to worry about was Ireland. And that was a pain in the ass, because I thought maybe if we sit in the terminal, we won't have to get her a visa. We can just sit there all day. You know, I thought about that. Well, we don't have to go out, you know. But no, you have to transfer from one terminal to the next. And because you're going out of one terminal, they consider that you are exiting and going into Ireland. So you have to have a visa. So she got her visa. Great. And we had a good time. I really liked Ireland. But, yeah, I wouldn't live in Ireland. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't. Too damn expensive. Yeah, I just wouldn't. Oh. I heard somebody say the other day that they went out to a fast food restaurant. It was just a sandwich shop for 2 people. $53. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? That's $20 for the sandwich and like $6.50 for a drink. 53 bucks. His truck payment is $1,200 a month plus $150 a month insurance. Yeah. I've been watching this thing called The Financial Audit with this guy named Caleb Hammer. He's a nice enough guy, I guess, you know. And he does kind of care about what happens to these people. But these people are knuckleheads. They have no money. They go out, they get themselves, oh, now I've got to pay $1,000 a month for my car and my insurance. I'm like, why didn't you just save up your money and take $5 grand, $10 grand and go buy a beater? And then when you have more money, you can afford to you want to have enough where you can pay for a new car or an upgraded car. And then, you trade it in or whatever. You keep doing that until you get to the point where you can pay for a new car yourself. But they never do that. And that is a big detractor from, finances in America. People go into debt. They think it's normal. And I don't think it's normal. To me, it's not normal. It's not normal. I just don't think it's good to be in debt, And I'll tell you something, this year, I will be completely debt-free. And to me, that's fantastic. When I bought a house in 2020, my mortgage was only $700 on a $92,000. Wow. And that's only four or 5 years ago. That's not, $92,000 house is pretty inexpensive. That's pretty house. Hey, Lost in Bunga. Well, you know what the rates are here? 2.5%. 2.5%. Very, very, reasonable. And I'll tell you something. I would never buy a new car here. Never. The only way is if I could pay cash for it and I really wanted it. And you know what? I don't want to spend $40,000 or $50,000. Say $2 million bucks. $1.5 million. I don't want to spend that much in cash and just hand it over and immediately the price goes down. That's just stupid, man. And I've talked about it before. I constantly am buying or thinking about buying like a motorcycle. And I go, I won't drive a motorcycle in Bangkok. There's too much freaking traffic. And for me to come from my house to the mall, it's not worth it. Thank you very much, Dale. Thank you. Hey, that's 3 out of 5 now. I only need 2 more. That's all I need. 2 more. 2 more and we're golden. 2 more and I hit my goal, which is fantastic. Oh, I just got another one. Well, Dale, Jesus Christ. I didn't know it's you. Dale has contributed 3 times. Thank you very much. Give him the thumbs up. Thank you very much. Now, I only need 1 more. And I reach my goal. Fantastic. That means I end 2024 on a, well, there we go. Thank you, Gilles. Now I have reached my goal. Absolutely fantastic. You did it. The goal is complete. See the goal. I always like reaching my goals because you know what? Sometimes I set my goals a bit too high. Like, you know, I'm gonna go down the Congo River or something like that. And you know, I don't have the money to do it. I don't have the money to spend $25,000, $30,000 to go on an expedition. I just don't have it. There we go. Let's give, what did I do? Let's give Gilles and Dale thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Let me see what happens here. Oh, I already gave them that. There we go. I thought they would have something like, you know, like an explosion, like fireworks or something. But all it does is say, you reached your goal. Thank you. I appreciate that, everybody. Dale and Gilles, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let me see if I can get back to here where I'm trying to go. Oh, there was confetti. I didn't see that. That's what I was looking for. I wanted the confetti. I was just hoping I saw a bunch of confetti going up or fireworks or whatever it was, so I just missed that somehow. Let me see here. All right, so where am I on my Chokey to all of you. Thank you very much. I want your new year to be fantastic. I hope your Christmas was wonderful. Now let me go here and get to the rest of this news here. All right. Thailand's economic growth projections. I need to speak very clearly. The International Monetary Fund projecting Thailand's economy to grow by 2.7% in 2024 and 2.9% in 2025, with expectations of rising inflation. Now, let me just see something. Inflation in Thailand, 2024. All right, it's somewhere around 0.8%. Let's see what it projected in 2025. And the reason I say this, it's supposed to be 1 to 3% in 2025. Now, if you're with Social Security and they give a cost of living adjustment and it's say 3%, then you should be ahead of the game here, or at least be able to match everything. But this year it's only 0.95. It's supposed to be around 0.5%. November inflation accelerated to 0.95% year on year, driven by higher energy. There you go, energy costs and fresh food prices. Food and energy is what people care about. Can I get to work? Can I stay warm? Can I stay cold? And then the food prices. I mean, I don't know how it works out, but the salmon that I bought yesterday, there was these kids. sprinting around, running around, playing grab ass. $30 for a piece of salmon. $30. I mean, it was a big piece. It was, you know, a meal for 4, but that's not cheap to me. It's just not cheap. All right, let me get to this, if I can. Get off my lawn. Listen, I don't like people parking in front of my house. That's a pet peeve of mine. That is definitely a pet peeve. Do not park in front of my house. I hate that. Get your car. You know, the guys come over, they move my garbage can. I used to have a couple garbage cans. I don't know, some of them broke or whatever, but we just put everything into one garbage can. They move my garbage can, then they park and they walk across the street to wherever they're getting their soup. And I'm like, hey, why are you parking in front of my house to go eat over there? Park your car over there at their house. Oh, well, we're blocking it. I don't care. You're blocking my house. That's how I look at it. And I get pissed. And my wife used to go, oh, don't get pissed off. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. Now I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I just go out and I go, can you please move your car? Very nicely. I don't get shitty about it. I try to be very nice about it. I say, can you please move your car? Oh, sorry. Oh, 1 minute. I go, no. Not 1 minute. Move. You need to move because I don't want to wait your 1 minute. That's what people do. They're, oh, 1 minute. I got to go eat. No, you don't have to go eat. Go park your car over there. Don't park in front of my house. Get off my lawn. All right. Wow, this is number 11 already. We're almost at the end here. Imagine that. Let's see if I can do this here. Mudslide in Phuket results in multiple fatalities. A mudslide near the Big Buddha, wow, in Phuket on August 25th led to the deaths of 13 people, including 2 Russians, and it injured 20 other people. Now, I was at Big Buddha not too long ago. I don't remember when it was. It could have been in June for all I know. I don't remember. I can't remember, you know, how far back it was, but I did a little video, showed the Big Buddha. So we were there. I don't know when we were there, but there was a mudslide there. And unfortunately, 13 people, that's a lot to die from a mudslide. High-speed railway is number 12. High-speed railway tunnel collapse in Nakhon Ratchasima. The collapse of a tunnel under construction for the Bangkok to Nong Khai high-speed railway in Pak Chong district resulted in the death of 3 foreign workers on August 24th. I bet you that they are Burmese. A lot of Burmese in Thailand now, a lot more than there used to be. In fact, I thought about taking some basic Burmese classes just because. I don't know, I want to take some French or something like that, but I want to do a lot of things. Do I ever get to it? I don't know. And last but not least, this is an honorable mention. This is not really included in the list, but marijuana, ganja, weed, cannabis. Like with many other things in Thailand, casino, we will have to wait and see how things unfold. Is the weed gonna only be medicinal weed? If I were a gambling man, I would say no. It's not going to be medicinal only. I would say it's gonna stay the same. So, these events have significantly impacted Thailand's landscape, political and otherwise, their public safety and economic policies throughout 2024. So, they were important. Of course, there are many things like the bus where the batteries blew up. I don't know. I think there was a shooting. I can't remember. Maybe that wasn't this year. I know there's been a few. But you know. Let's see here. I guess that wraps it up. Wow. So keep an eye out for videos. And I have not decided how I want to stream. Do I want to stream 1 time a week, 2 times a week, 3 times a week? I'd like some input. What do you guys think? How much is too much? How much is perfect? Is twice a week perfect? Is once a week perfect? Is 3 times a week perfect? What is perfect? To me, 2 or 3 times a week is plenty. And I want to have time to really work on a video to make a higher quality video. So, there we go. Perfect is how much you want to stream. Well, I don't know about that. I don't know if I count it perfect. Thank you, Tom. Thank you very much. I love it. Very good. Choke D to you. Choke D at the buzzer. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. You know, maybe 2 times a week is perfect sometimes. I've been thinking about going to P-Lope, but you know, I really want to save a bunch of money. And that way I can go, listen, I got plenty of money saved. You know, I can do whatever I want, pretty much. I mean, you know, within reason. I can do what I want when I want. And if I want to go somewhere, I just go, all right, here you go. Put it on my credit card. And I'll pay it at the end of the month. Boom, it's paid off. Thank you. That's what I want to do. Those things are important. That's important. So, that wraps it up, I guess. So, we've covered everything about the updates and the big news in Thailand for 2024. I hope you found this stream informative, educational, engaging, and pleasant. So don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell if you're not subscribed already. I think something like your recent old coffee shops would have more views if they were a short video. Yes, you're probably right. If you want to support the channel, you can do so through Super Chat, Super Thanks, Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon, buying merch, buying books, whatever. You can just watch. That's great. Share the video. That's great. So, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. I am Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. And all I got to say at the end of this year is Chok Di Leo Jekan Mai. That is good luck. And until next time, I'll see you next year. Stay safe. Take care. Happy New Year. And goodbye for now. See ya. Boom.